Hello, silly people on the internet, and welcome to Hazy Mind, a game about not remembering anything, and all you can see is this one girl. It pretty much has the same vibes as Milk Outside a Bag of Milk, but a completely different story from what I can tell. And yep, let's get into it. My thoughts fragment my mind like shards of glass. I can feel each sudden thought slicing me from within. I'm tired of battling with my own mind, with each day growing increasingly burdensome. Antidepressants and sleeping pills, my daily allies, will yet again become today's escape from this world. Internally, I'm screaming in pain, but the fear of what death might bring holds me back. Is it worth the fight even when everything inside is pleading for surrender? That seems like a relief, but what if it's just a different kind of pain? Thoughts spin in my mind, but my heart keeps on beating. My hallucinations morph into terrifying creatures, squirming in my mind like worms, offering no peace. Fear paralyzes me, leaving me in the darkness with only my thoughts for company. A bottle of pills in my hands, my heart pounding in my chest, a terrifyingly real reminder of the life I wish to end. I understand how strongly emotions overwhelm me. I understand how long I have thought about this, but my brain continues to look for reasons not to do it. In the end, my self-hatred still wins. The pills feel as icy as snow, their coldness seeps through my skin, swiftly sweeping away the last remnants of doubt. Closing my eyes, I swallow them one by one. My mind starts to fog from the pills I've taken. A strange moment of silence ensues. It's as if the world has slowed its rotation, giving me time to reconcile with my fate. The sensation of the pills in my throat feel like a sharp blow to the back, a confirmation of the irreversible decision I've just made. The world starts to slowly fade away as if someone is gradually turning down the brightness on the TV. My consciousness becomes foggy. Thoughts mingle, quickly turning into meaningless chaos. I hear my own breathing, its cycle getting quieter and less frequent. The last thing I feel is the heaviness of my eyelids, which close involuntarily. I surrender to lifeless yet soothing oblivion. Sleep. It comes like a wave, sweeping me into an impenetrable depth. I surrender without resistance. Suddenly a glimmer sparks in the darkness, and I see a dream. The surrounding darkness starts morphing, dreams within its stories both frightening and familiar. There are scenes from my life, moments of both happiness and suffering. As each second passes, those images become more vivid, adopting shapes, colors, and sounds. Some of them are kind, reminding me of times when I laughed, when I was happy. But there are dreams that, oh god, but there are dreams that pierce me, reminding me of what led me here. I dive deeper and deeper into the dream. It's like a journey through my own soul. And suddenly, in this endless depth, I begin to see light. It's a warm, muted glow that beckons me from the darkness. I'm drawn to this light, like a moth enticed by fire. And when I touch this light, I can feel it start to fill me, rousing me from the dark sleep. My eyes open. I feel the solid surface of the bed comforting my body. My head is still foggy, but it no longer pains me the way it did before. My consciousness slowly returns. Something is off. Everything around looks unfamiliar, even though I know it's my space. Memories spin in my head like flashing images, but I can't piece them together into a coherent whole. It's a feeling of emptiness, as if a part of me is missing. Names, faces, moments, everything is plunged into a disorganized mess, deemed unreachable for my mind. I'm finding it harder to breathe. My mind screams, seeking answers I don't have. Everything around starts to seem distant and insignificant. I'm lost in my own world. Realization sets in. I have forgotten everything. Who I am, where I'm from, my existence is erased. I'm too scared to move, to breathe, because even these sensations feel new and alien. With each breath, I attempt to remember, but it only results in greater panic. The world around me begins to crumble like an abandoned building, eroding as time passes. I sense that I am moving further away from myself with each passing second. From fear warps around me, squeezing my heart, and I can't find an escape. Gravity feels doubled. My body fails to resist, falling back onto the bed. The moment my body touches the bed, there's an instant relief. It's an unexpected calm in the midst of chaos. I feel the warmth of a foreign hand slowly pressing through my hair. Despite consciousness staring again, the desire to leave the comfortable sanctuary of my bed has disappeared. That's real. However, in the end, I decide to find out who is so tenderly guarding my peace. Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Finally woken up.
You've
You must be feeling lost and confused right now. Unsure of where you are and who I am. Don't worry. I'm here to help you. I need to tell you something that might be hard for you to hear, but it's important that you know.
I turned the audio a bit up so that maybe her voice is more loud for you guys.
This isn't the first time this has happened. You've woken up with no memory before.
Wait, what?
Every night, your memory is reset. You cannot remember yesterday or any day before that.
What?
After a failed suicide attempt,
Oh.
you went through a lot of stress, and that's why you can't remember things.
Who are you?
Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My apology. My name is Marana.
Hi,
My
Morana.
mom hired me to look after you, as every night you wake up, oblivious to the world around you. My role is to be a beacon in the early hours, to help you navigate through the confusion. Of course, I am also here to assist you in regaining your memory. By the way, my duty is to provide you with a guide on what to do when I'm not around, and where to find essential items you might need. Here.
What a nice
This is
person.
the guide. As you can see, it's a bit worn out since you've used it prior.
Aid kit, kitchen, emergency, address.
In case of emergencies, the first aid kit is in your cabinet at the very bottom. You'll instantly recognize it. It looks like a typical first aid kit. Just to be on the safe side, I've sketched a picture of it here in the guide, so you can be sure you found the right box. To get to the kitchen, you will need to leave your room, walk straight down the corridor, then take a left. That's where you'll find a kitchen. If something happens to either of us, dial 911. That's the number for emergency services. Your phone is on the table. The phone is switched on and fully charged. You've always had a knack for figuring out how to use it, so I'm sure you won't have any issues there. What else was there? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, right. If you have to call an ambulance, you'll need to know your address. It's 4 Buttiff Street, Arc City.
Arc City for Buttiff Street.
It might be a bit challenging to remember right now, so I understand.
Yeah, it kinda is, bro.
However, everything I have just told you is written down on this note. Please, keep it safe and always have it with you, okay?
Got it. Okay.
Great. You're doing very well. Now, to add a little joy to the moment, I've prepared something special for you. I cooked your all-time favorite dish, toast with egg.
Toast with egg!
It's important to fuel your body. After eating, I can give you a tour around your room and help you discover more about your life that's been temporarily forgotten.
Sure.
So don't rush yourself. Eat at your own pace. I'll be here. ... Well, since you're done with your meal, we have one more thing to do. You'll need to take these pills. They're antidepressants. They've been prescribed by a doctor to keep any panic attacks at bay.
What if I don't want it?
Without them, things could become difficult. And I don't want that for you. I don't want to appear as if I'm forcing you to take some strange pills, especially if you are uncomfortable. That is not my intention. While it's a condition for me to be able to show you the room, The decision is completely yours. Just so you know, regardless of your choice, I will still guide you around the room. And I understand if you choose not to take them. Will you take these pills or not?
Okay, I will take these pills. No! I will not take these pills.
Well, I have to confess, I feel a twinge of disappointment. Because you see, when we begin to explore your old belongings, you'll likely face a deluge of emotions. And this emotional onslaught, it could simply shatter you, triggering a panic attack and potentially causing you to faint.
Oh god.
And moreover, your mother was quite insistent that you take these pills. I wouldn't want to face her wrath if you don't. So, I'm going to ask you one last time. Are you absolutely sure you won't take them?
Normally I would say okay, but I want to see what happens if I don't. I won't take these pills.
It's odd, really. In the past, you've been more willing to trust me. But now, for some reason, you've decided to reject both my advice and your mother's. I find it deeply saddening, because I am responsible for you, and I bear the weight of your actions as well.
Womp womp.
But I won't impose on your decision. So be it. No pills for now. We'll still inspect your room, though. I made a promise, and I intend to keep it. You will see every nook and cranny of your space.
Got it.
But before we can embark on that journey, you need to get out of bed.
Oh god, that's the worst part.
I see that it will be difficult for you to get up, and you'll certainly need my assistance. Give me your hand so I can help you rise.
Ooh.
I understand that you are curious and have many questions. Let's do a question and answer
Why are your
session
hands like
before
that?
we check out your room. Choose your questions carefully, because I won't answer them a second time. Of course, you can save and revisit these questions, but where's the thrill in that?
True.
Trust your initial instinct. That's my advice. So,
My instinct is that you have weird hands and I don't trust you. Where's my mom?
honestly, I don't know.
Damn.
I don't see her when I visit you. It wouldn't be right for me to ask where she is, because she is my boss. So, I cannot fully answer that. But I think she is working hard for you. Do you have any other questions?
Why is it night and not morning? Oh, why is it night and not morning? Why did my mom hire you? Because I keep forgetting shit. That's obvious.
You have a disrupted sleep pattern, falling asleep during the day and waking up at night.
Just like me.
It seems this can't be corrected. Ever since you left school, you've been very neglectful of your sleep routine. Now, you face the consequences.
Damn.
Do you have any other questions?
How can I remember everything forever? Why do you look so strange?
I'm not even sure whether to take that as a compliment or not. If, in your understanding, strange means unconventional, then I am actually quite impressed. I always want to make an intriguing impression. Not a pleasant one, but an interesting one. Because to leave a pleasant impression on people, you often have to just nod along with them.
True.
You're probably wondering about my makeup, right?
Not really your hands, but your makeup is fucking awesome,
I
dude.
love to experiment
Dude.
with my face and try out different looks. So far, this is my favorite.
Nice.
You should enjoy life and do what you like without worrying what others think.
True.
Want to wear weird makeup? Go for it. Want to wear odd gloves? Put them on.
Oh, they're gloves?
Yes. People might give you odd looks, and yes, they might judge, but so what?
True.
People who pass you by won't remember you in 10 minutes, and I won't stress about it. Those unfortunate 2 minutes of judgment can be endured.
True.
It's true what they say. People love to talk about themselves. Sorry.
It's
Do you
okay.
have any other questions?
What happened to your hands?
For now, unfortunately, I can't answer that question.
What?
It's personal.
Oh.
All I can say is that it was an unfortunate accident. That's all you can know. All right, that's enough questions from you. Let's move on to inspecting the room. Well, I'll step back now, and you can hover the cursor and click on the items that interest you.
Got it. Oh god, that's a weird loading screen. Okay, let's see. Computer.
I should start by saying that all information I'll share comes from your mother.
Okay.
This is your laptop. You enjoyed listening to audiobooks and playing games.
Okay.
You also use the laptop for your studies.
Ew.
You even made friends online to play games with.
Okay, that's
This
based.
laptop is like an extension of you. You practically spent all your time on it. As soon as you left school, you initially spent a lot of time on your laptop. Apparently, you were attempting to isolate yourself from reality and its consequences.
Fair enough.
But soon after, you grew tired of it and stopped playing video games.
What? Impossible.
I'm not sure if it was a good or bad decision, but it definitely changed your life a bit. By the way, you can look into your laptop and see what's there. Want to check?
Sure.
Well then, take a seat in the chair and you can take a look.
I'll keep an eye on you. I sat down on the chair and opened my laptop. Did I really set this horrific picture as my wallpaper? It looks a bit scary. But there are also some files on it. They don't have names, but I should hover over them and then click on the ones that interest me. YouTube. Round 1. Oh, this is not YouTube. Good job. Round 2. Good job. Round 3. Easy. Good job. Round 4. Oh god. Good job. Round 5. Holy shit. Game over. Want to try again? No. Fuck that. That ain't YouTube. Yeah. Okay, let's try this one. In a big city, there was a small old bookstore hidden between huge buildings. This was Julian's special place. He loved books and he looked after the bookstore. He had lots of stories to tell, but his own story hadn't happened yet. Then, one rainy Tuesday, everything changed. A girl named Amelia came into the store. She had eyes like the storm outside and a mysterious smile. She wanted a book from the top shelf, a book Julian didn't even know existed. When she got the book for her, their hands touched for a second and it felt like a new story was starting. As Amelia kept visiting the bookstore, she and Julian got closer. They talked quietly among the old books, laughed together, and shared secrets. Julian started to fall in love with her. But Amelia always seemed a bit sad. Julian could see it in her eyes, in her smile and her eyes. He didn't ask why, because he didn't want to ruin what they had. One day, as the sun was setting, Amelia looked really sad. She told Julian something hard to hear. "I'm sick," she said, "and there's no cure. I came here to get away from it all, to be in stories where everything ends happily and love lasts forever." After that, everything changed. Time, which once made their love grow, now felt like it was running out. Julian wanted to make every moment count. They spent all their time together, making their love stories stronger, even though they knew it would have to end. One cold day, when the leaves were gone, Amelia passed away. Julian was with her, holding her hand. The room was very quiet, like when you finish a really good book. After Amelia was gone, the bookstore felt different to Julian. It was full of memories of her. He kept looking after the books, but he was never the same. The top shelf where Amelia's book was got dusty. It was like a reminder of the girl who had changed his life. Now, in the quiet corners of the bookstore, if you listen carefully, it feels like their love story is still there. Julian talks to Amelia's memory, telling her stories. Their love lives on in their love lives on in the quiet moments in the bookstore. Got it. What's this one? In the future, cities float in the sky and people can reach the stars. There was a robot named Ailos, the last of his kind. He was special because he could understand and show human feelings. made to connect people and machines. Ailos lived in a big empty city that people had left to live among the stars. He walked around the tall buildings and quiet streets, remembering the humans who created him. He saw their happy and sad times in his memories. Ailos often wondered if he could really feel things or if he was just copying what he saw. One day, as the sun was setting, Ailos found an old teddy bear. It was old and worn out, but Ailos liked it a lot. He called it Tim and always took it with him, like a friend. Years passed, and Ailos started to break down. He moved slowly and didn't work as well, but he kept hoping people would come back. One night, Ailos stopped working near a fountain under the stars. He understood something important. Feelings connect everyone, whether they are real or not, and they are a part of everything. Holding Tim, Ailos stopped working with a peaceful smile. He wasn't sure if his feelings were real, but he felt calm and connected to the humans he never met but knew from memories. The city stayed quiet, a reminder of the past, but Ailos' story stayed, showing how everyone looks for connection and tries to understand feelings. Okay, this one. No. It looks like some social network is there. There was no internet on the laptop, so I cannot search for something. But in the social network, I have only one chat with one person named I.O. Where's that 10? I think it's I.O. Yo, I'ma call her O. Yo, fuck yeah. I started reading our messages. Yo, why are you treating me like this? I just don't want to have anything to do with you. But why? What did I do wrong? Tell me, I will correct it. You are too pushy towards me. Even now, you're willing to embarrass yourself just to talk to me. That's low. You should value yourself more. But you're my only real friend. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. I'm the one who should be apologizing, so please forgive me. I hope you find a better friend than me. Why does everything have to be so complicated? How can I fully understand you? Why are human emotions and feelings so complex? I don't understand. I just want to be friends with you, like before. We were never friends. I just talked to you out of pity and used you. I'm a terrible person. You just dreamed of a friend to walk with, play with, and share jokes with. That's your ideal, right? And you projected it onto me. But I don't really want to talk to you. I'm not really interested in everything you send or share. I'm not even interested in how you're doing. I ask out of politeness, although I don't even remember the last time I did. I've been silent about this for so many years, and finally, I can speak out. This feeling is priceless. I'm just as insecure as you, which is why I couldn't tell you all this right away. It's a pity I'm saying this so late, but it's better late than never. You would continue to live in a lie and in a colorful world where I'm your best friend, where internet friends will definitely meet, and where everyone cares about each other. What kind of magical world is that? You know what else? Your childish behavior really annoyed me. You often got upset when I ignored you. Don't you understand that sometimes people find it hard to gather their thoughts and respond? You acted like a child, as if everyone owes you something. No, they don't. You owe it to yourself. You need to be your own friend. No one else will help you grow up and stop being such a selfish child. That's why you're better off without me. This is my last message, after which I'm deleting my account. Goodbye. Sorry. Oh man. Who the fuck is this guy? In New Arcadia, a vast city, there was a unique job held by a man named Icarus Finch. He was known as an architect of memories, crafting and molding memories into real-life experiences for people seeking more than their everyday life. Cyberpunk reference? Kara's small studio, high in an old building, was filled with jars of shimmering essences, echoes of laughter, sorrow and joy. Many visited him, each longing for memories they missed or never had. One rainy night, a ballet dancer named Elara came to Icarus. Her life was a series of rehearsals and brief shows, her movements a display of disciplined grace. But her eyes held uncried tears. She wanted to remember something different, a deep, personal love, not the fleeting praise she was used to. Icarus, calm and thoughtful, agreed to help but warned her. He said that sometimes our hearts want what only real life can give. Elara, desperate, agreed. For days, Icarus worked hard. He created a memory of true love for Elara, full of first glances, touches, and whispered words in the quiet night. He made a memory where Elara danced not for an audience but for someone who loved her deeply. When the time came, Elara experienced this memory. She found herself on a starry balcony, dancing with a blurred figure, feeling a love that filled her. She woke up joyful, thanking Icarus for letting her feel love. Icarus, a bit sad, told her this was just a shadow of real love. He knew that true love was something to be discovered and experienced, not made. Elara left, her heart touched by this experience, but soon the memory faded. She realized that the real love couldn't be made or remembered, it had to be found and nurtured. So, Elara changed her routine life. She explored New Arcadia, making real connections and finding joy in simple moments. And then, in a quiet cafe, she met someone. This time, the spark between them was real, starting a flame no crafted memory could match. Icarus stayed in his studio, creating dreams. He knew some things, like love, were too wild and real for even him to make. They belonged to life, waiting for those brave enough to seek them.
Well, do you have some questions about your laptop?
These stories, I wrote them?
Yes, you really did. As you can see, not every story has a happy ending, but you're always trying to make stories with happy endings, like those in movies. I think the story with the ballet dancer shouldn't have ended like that. That ending was so stupid. Like, what? Why? The story could have ended when Elara realizes the memories are fading, and she's not happy anymore.
What?
The part about her finding a new love interest is so far-fetched.
Okay.
But the other stories? I really enjoyed them. You're a good writer, I think. Oh, no. I just confessed to looking at your laptop. Sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm just a bit tired from work, and when you sleep, I read those stories. Or I go to internet forums. They're funny, I think. Sorry, again.
It's okay.
But since you don't have much information on your laptop anyway, it's not a problem at all. You can continue looking around the room.
Got it. Let's... what else is there? Let's try this.
Another poster, but this one you bought when you were a bit older. You were a fan of anime, it seems?
Oh god.
But since you were a child, you mostly watched romance. I understand you. I was the same. Only later do you realize that such things don't happen in real life. Or do they? Maybe it just hasn't happened to you yet. Don't lose hope. Anything can happen in the future, right? But that's not really important. Later, you regretted buying the poster, but you can't take it down because it would ruin the wallpapers.
Oh damn. Let's try this one.
This is a poster of a rock band you liked as a child. You know, you used to buy these posters and stick them up, but later on you thought it was a bad decision. At least this poster still hangs here, reminding you of your childhood, and how you were a huge fan of this band. I think removing the poster is not a good idea. It would take off the wallpaper as well, ruining the look of your apartment.
Okay then.
You can continue looking around the room.
I think I only have the bed and the flower to look at. I don't think there's anything else I can interact with. Okay, let's try the flower.
This is the plant your mom gave you for your birthday. It's surprising it's still alive after so long. Just kidding. It's really because you've always taken such good care of it. Good job.
Thank you.
Lately with your health troubles, it's your mom who's been looking after it mostly.
Let's try the bed now.
This is the coziest place on the planet.
True.
Oh god, if it were up to me, I would sleep in bed all my life. I know
Same.
it's not much different from death, but I love dreaming, so death is not an option. Though who knows? Maybe we really do dream after we die. Think about it.
We're getting philosophical now.
But let's not talk about me, right? It's about you. This is the bed you sleep in. Usually, you just lie there and stare at the ceiling. As a child, it seemed you had fun glow-in-the-dark stickers that you would gaze at for a long time when you couldn't sleep.
Aww. Oh, apparently now I can interact with the book.
This is your diary, the most important thing you have. And reading it might take some time.
Got it.
But since you've clicked on it, you definitely need to read it.
Okay.
It won't disturb you during this time. Read at your own pace. If you want to share your emotions after reading, I'll be glad to listen.
I saw Morana sit down on a chair next to my table and close her eyes. Apparently with such a job she gets very little sleep. Oh, so this lady? I carefully picked up the diary and sat on the bed. It looked like a regular book. It didn't have all that many pages, but the book still seemed thick. Perhaps because I had to read it so many times, the book had become slightly misshapen, adding to its thickness. I don't know what awaits inside, and the atmosphere starts to get tense. Overcoming my anxiety, I finally opened the diary, first page, and began to read. Hello. I decided to start a diary because Ria told me it helps understand oneself and improves your relationships with others. Basically, she seemed to be promoting it to me, so I bought a notebook and will try to write down everything happening in my life. Honestly, I don't think this will last long since I'm not a very consistent person. I can't do the same thing every day, but we'll see. Maybe it'll work out. It's hard for me to write. I don't even know what to write about. What did I do today? Went to school, talked with friends, came home, did my homework, and now I'm just sitting at home. My mom's not home as usual, and I have nothing to do. Well, technically, I have a lot I could do, like self-improve, prepare more for my lessons, play computer games, but I prefer to lie on the bed and stare at the ceiling. She's just like me. I don't know if everyone is as lazy as me, or what it's called, procrastination, I think. Not sure about the spelling. When you can become anyone in this world, work hard, live your passion, but you choose to just lie on the bed. I think in the future I will read my diary and might not understand, maybe even blame myself or something. But I'm tired. Yes, I have many friends at school, I get good grades, and I even hang out with friends outside. I always smile and joke around them, trying to stay positive, yet when I come home I feel sadness and loneliness. Nothing seems to help, not video games, not studying, not even food. Maybe I'm just not in the mood. Honestly, thank you, diary. I feel like I've vented to someone, like crying on the shoulder. I feel a bit better. I like how the little images spins when I move my cursor. But not getting an answer back is hard. It's like talking to a wall, maybe? Maybe I don't need a reply. Your purpose might be to be there for anyone who wants to share something privately but is afraid to. Anyway, I'll go now. Hello again, diary. It's been 2 days since school started. These days were normal. Ria and I sat together, joked during breaks, and had lunch together. Today, I brought her the cookies I baked at home, and she shared a tasty salad with me. She loved the cookies. Ria is genuinely a kind person. We have a lot in common, but she's not into video games. She prefers studying, and she's really dedicated. I don't have that drive, even though I get the same grades as her. I feel like school just prepares us to be perfect workers. It's like, do this, do that, don't question things. True. Or else you get the lowest mark, or in a job setting, you might get fired. Hello, diary. Recently our class was asked to write an essay about friendship. I spent a long time thinking about what to write. I have many friends, but what does this essay really want from me? Should I worry more about what the teacher thinks rather than what I truly feel? It's so absurd. At first, I wrote an essay expressing my real opinion that friends are just a way to avoid feeling lonely. After rereading it, I realized the teacher wouldn't like it. I tried to write something that would get me a good grade, but the problem was I sat with that paper for over an hour and couldn't think of anything. I decided not to submit the essay and got the lowest mark. I chose not to tell my mom about it, and she doesn't seem to care much about me anyway. If I had submitted the essay with my honest feelings, they might have sent me to a psychiatrist or even suspended me from school. That's life, I guess. Hello again. Sorry for not writing for so long, nothing new happened. As usual, I hung out with Ria, played video games, slept, and of course, went to school. But something happened recently that threw me off. As I mentioned, I have many friends, including guys, and mostly play video games with them. And recently, one of the guys confessed his feelings to me, diary. You can't imagine my surprise. I mean, I've seen some girls flirting with guys and vice versa, but I always set boundaries and no one ever flirted with me. I never cared about such things, I never even thought about it. But for the first time in my life, someone confessed to me. He just said it, honestly and openly, feeling it wasn't fair to keep it a secret from me and wanted an honest answer. I don't know how to respond to him because I don't feel that strong love described in movies or books. Still, I'm really flustered by all of this. I'm even embarrassed to write to you about it because I'm usually so down when I talk to you, but now I'm smiling as I write this. It feels so unusual. Hello again. I remember the last time I wrote about the guy who confessed to me. Well, we are seeing each other now. It's not like we're officially together and act like a couple, we're just hanging out and getting to know each other. Throughout this time I realized I like him. I'm not really worried about what will happen next since he hasn't asked me about my feelings yet. But if he does, I'll be so embarrassed. All of this is overwhelming me. Lately, I seem happier and even started turning down Ria's offers to hang out. She's quite puzzled because I haven't told her who I've been spending time with, but I think she suspects I have a boyfriend. She even started teasing me about it. To be honest, I'm a bit scared. Soon we'll be applying to colleges, choosing our dream professions, or staying in school for 2 more years. I think I'm not very sure about what I want to do, so I'll stay in school for another 2 years. Thoughts of the future upset me, I don't want to think about it. I've got a strange feeling that something's wrong with me. I love to draw, especially different creatures for instance. I recently drew a chubby black cat during class. And my imagination can run wild sometimes. But in class, believe it or not, I thought I saw that exact cat I drew walk into our room, looking so real. I instantly knew it wasn't real and laughed it off, blaming it on being tired from school. But deep down, I'm worried and scared. I know mental health issues can be inherited. I had a grandfather who took his own life. My mom often spoke of him, remembering him as a great man, and cried for him. She said he lost his mind after my grandmother's death. I'll never meet him, though I wish I could have talked to him. It's a pity. I don't romanticize mental disorders like movies do. I think it's not normal and should be treated otherwise. People can completely lose their minds. Anyway, that's a weird situation I experienced. Hello, diary. Life goes on as usual, but I want to vent, maybe even cry a little. I think something terrible is happening to me, and I'm too scared to tell my mom, even though I know I should. I don't want to become like some psychopath or schizophrenic. I hate the idea, only fools romanticize that. As these are scary diseases and people do horrible things when they suffer from them. I recently read a story about a woman who killed her own kids overnight because she was schizophrenic. Oh god. From what I understand about the illness, you see creatures or places that aren't real, just in your mind. That's been my feeling lately. I've started seeing weird creatures, especially when I'm bored. Like during classes, I see them often, and it's hard to get rid of them unless I distract myself. I know I should tell my mom, but I'm terrified of being diagnosed or accepting that I might never be able to live normally in society. That would be like death to me since I'd no longer be ordinary. I'm still thinking about it, but I'll write more if there are any updates. I did it. I told my mom today. It was hard and seeing her reaction was painful. The look in her eyes and her expression said it all. She might see me as a monster. Or maybe she doesn't believe me and thinks it's just a teenage prank. I don't know. It took a lot of time and effort to get it out and find the right moment. I don't know what to do next. This is the first page I've cried on, sorry. It's just very hard for me. I want to tell others, but people might avoid me. No one wants to be around someone like me, I'm sure of it. I might go mad and hurt them or myself, who knows what other horrible things might happen. So, I'll keep quiet until the end. For now, my mom and I scheduled an appointment with the psychiatrist she knows. I don't know my diagnosis yet, I'm just fearing the worst. Life's been tough, especially when things are finally starting to get better. I've been in a relationship with a boy, my relationships with my friends are better than ever, and my school grades are good. Okay, diary. I'll write when I have the strength. Goodbye. Oh no. Schizophrenia. It's hereditary. I got it from my grandfather. I've been removed from school, but my mom arranged me to be treated at home because the quality of the mental institutions is terrible. I didn't say goodbye to Ria. It was too hard. They'll probably tell her I transferred schools and moved away. I haven't talked to my boyfriend since my last diary entry. In fact, I've been ignoring him. I know I'm being horrible to them, but maybe it's better they never knew me. It hurts me to do this. I cry every night. Sometimes we need to be cruel so people can get disappointed, move on, and forget about us. I'm hurting them and myself. But their pain will pass, they'll move on, find someone else, and I want to believe they'll be okay. Things will never be okay for me again, not because of my mood, but because of the illness. No one knows how to cure it, and no pills will help. The hallucinations will become more and more real, scarier and scarier, and there will be more of them. I don't want to think about it, it's too terrifying. Since I left school, I'll have to study at home and focus on self-education. Starting the new year, my life will change entirely. New Year is coming soon, but unsurprisingly, I'm not in the mood. I think I made the right decision by distancing myself from everyone. Take my boyfriend for instance, our relationship would never have worked out. It's not because I'm bad or can't act normally, I'm not crazy. But relationships have goals like starting a family. I look ahead and I don't want my children to experience what I'm going through now. It's better for both Ria and him to move on in life. I'm getting incredibly bored these days since I'm not attending school, so I entertain myself by imagining various creatures. Of course, I could play video games all day, but I'm tired of that. When you're free to do anything, it's hard to enjoy things that you once found pleasant after some time. The new year has already passed. Mom and I celebrated it together. Dad didn't even call, let alone visit. Honestly speaking, I'm not that mad at Dad, but my mom is very angry with him and he doesn't want to see him. He found a new family and left us. It's not late. It's not that he found a family. He just found some young girl, a student. I understand that my mom is very disgusted by this and that he left us for his own pleasure, but I think she needs to move on in life. By that, I mean find a new man who will love her and move on. The only problem is my presence. I completely ruined that possibility. Yet my mom loves me very much despite this, and works hard for my sake. But what's the point of all of this when I don't have a future? That's why I think it would have been better if I didn't exist. I don't want to write this hello diary anymore because I see no point. Honestly, I see no point in writing here either. I feel so bad that the only thing I can do is draw to distract myself from everything. The hallucinations are getting scarier, but I'm used to them. Sometimes I hear voices, but they're more like noise. My psychiatrist prescribed me antidepressants and antipsychotics, but she noted that they might have side effects. On top of that, I can't sleep at night. So, I've also been prescribed some sleeping pills. But one sleeping pill usually doesn't help, so I take two, and now it seems I consume these damn pills instead of food, which aren't helping. I mean, they cost a lot of money, and my mom stays late at work more often. She changed shifts, and I barely see her now. I feel terrible because I fear that these voices will become more than just noise, and I'll start listening to them. I don't want that. I don't want anything. Well, hello, diary. Yes, I wrote earlier that I wouldn't write like this, but who cares? I drew some works and I'll paste them into you now. I hope you like it. Ooh, that's really good art. Oh, that's the babysitter. Wait, is that Morana? It looks a lot like her. Was I familiar with her before? Why didn't she tell me about it? Or even then, was she with me because my mom couldn't be? But why didn't I write about this event in the diary? I looked in her direction, she was still asleep. I need to ask her about it after I finish reading everything. I opened the diary again and continued reading. Today I had a fight with my mom. She called me a mistake, said I do nothing and that I'm a burden, and called me stupid. I understand she said it out of emotion, but she was telling the truth and only the truth. I have no friends. No job prospects with such a diagnosis, and all I can do is take pills that cost an incredible amount of money and don't even help. I can't even talk to anyone. I can tell strangers on the internet about my diagnosis. It will look like I want pity. I just want to confide in someone, cry on someone's shoulder. But what's the point? If I cry, will everything suddenly become good? No. Nothing can help me now, and I need to accept that. At least Ria was right to suggest I keep a diary. Thank you, Ria. Without the diary, I would have killed myself a long time ago. Hello and goodbye at the same time, diary. I decided today to overdose on all the pills prescribed to me. I see no point in living and trying. I don't want any of this. Fear gripped me and I felt goosebumps. On this exact date, I decided to end my life, but after that attempt, everything became even worse. I wanted to do my best, but it turned out, even now, I don't think I made the right decision. Maybe it's because my memory has faded. But if I do have schizophrenia, it's not that big of a deal, so why did I leave my friends and my boyfriend? I understand that can be terrifying, but why did I make my life so complicated? From the moment I decided to leave my friends, I chose suicide. Okay, that should not be the main focus right now. What's important to me now is to find out who she really is and how her drawings could have been in my diary. I close the diary and approach Morana. Wake up! She ignores me and doesn't wake up. I felt goosebumps again. I couldn't breathe. I'm really scared to touch her. I don't know. I'm very afraid. I can't see her face while she's sleeping. It was covered by her hair. But I had no other choice. I gathered courage and touched her. She quickly grabbed my hands with her terrifying black hands. I still couldn't see her face. I try hard to break free from her grasp, but these attempts are unsuccessful. Visions started in my eyes. I began to see weird monsters laughing at me. Their voices echo loudly in my head and I can't say anything. Morana starts squeezing my hand tighter. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, how can someone be so stupid? I just can't anymore. Where is your intelligence? How can someone be like that? Haven't you tried thinking? I am not real, and even a fool would understand that, right? Even someone who hit their head 100 times could figure that out. But the nonsense in the diary that you made up, do you really believe all that? I understand it's a very sad story, but even this sad story is made up by you. Why invent such a tragic story for yourself? For a friend and a boyfriend? You hate the truth, don't you? Well, think about it again. Truth is, you never had any friends.
Oh.
You didn't have a Ria or a boyfriend either. You made them up. Just like you made me up. Practically everything you wrote in the diary is not true, but fiction. Think about it again. You write in your diary about how your boyfriend and your friend ignored the fact that you suddenly disappeared. What nonsense is that? Think if you really had friends and a boyfriend, they wouldn't know where you live? That sounds illogical. Very illogical. Damn it, illogical. Do you really think they wouldn't visit you if you suddenly disappeared? Something like, oh, my best friend disappeared without telling me anything, and I'll just do absolutely nothing. Or, yes, I love her, but she disappeared and I'll just accept it. That sounds stupid.
I guess you're right.
Tell me you actually believe they would continue their lives with your disappearance? Even considering that you're in school and you are practically children who can't do anything in this situation, your friends or your boyfriend wouldn't abandon you. They would try to find you. Something might have happened to you. Do you understand what I mean? But unfortunately, all of this is just your imagination. No one is going to look for you. In reality, you're just a lonely girl with schizophrenia and a bunch of psychological disorders who doesn't leave her home. You've had this illness since childhood. You didn't go to kindergarten or school because of it, and your mom kept you at home. You hardly saw the sunlight in your life. Not that it's her fault. She was scared to let you out among people because you always acted strangely, and other children always laughed at you and bullied you.
Oh god.
Your father left your family not because of some student he found, but because of you, and you know it. It's all because of you. You've gotten too caught up in your own play. I'm tired of being in it. I'm leaving. Stay by yourself and enjoy the solitude, since you love to suffer, right?
Morana got up and left, slamming the door loudly behind her. She appeared upset, even though she was also angry. I'm somewhat confused by what she said. It doesn't fully register in my mind. Should I go after her? Go after her! Suddenly, I spotted a strange creature on my bed, looking at me with its peculiar eyes. Oh my god, look! A tiny goober! Everyone leaves. I'm not surprised. You're not an exception. Fine. I release you. Go on. Just be careful, okay? Okay. A strange yet unexpectedly charming monster. But I'm off to follow Morana. I'll return to this creature later. I need to press on the door to catch up with her. I see a corridor. A long corridor. And directly opposite my room, another room. It's wedged open with various linens. That's odd. Maybe Morana went in there. At some point, I became fearless and pushed the door open. Oh god. I don't think there are words that could describe what I felt at that moment. I was dumbfounded. The smell was revolting, and out of horror, I covered my face with my sweater. I don't understand. Who is this? What is this? Suddenly, I hear the sound of grinding teeth coming from behind me and sense something approaching.
Why are you so afraid, darling? Can't even turn your head. Am I that terrifying to you? You're insulting me with this kind of behavior. If you don't turn around in 10 seconds, I am counting. 10, 9.
Oh god, turn around!
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good girl. I thought that you were really stupid, but I see some progress.
Aren't you the guy in the computer game?
Well, who do I see? A little girl, lost in her own mind. Did you get lost, dear? It must have been very scary to see what you saw. I understand you like no one else. It's okay. Sooner or later, this was bound to happen. What you see is your mother. Or rather,
What?
what's left of her. Ah, yes. Who did this to her, you ask, right? You did. You did this.
I don't believe you. You're not real.
Well, you just said something quite obvious. Indeed, I'm not real. But to you, I am real. I'm your consciousness that has taken this form. Believe it or not, I don't need your trust. It's worthless. You're a sick person who should kill
Oh, God.
yourself. It's all your fault. Your fault that your mother has been decomposing for a week under her bed. If it weren't for you, she would be alive. And you, a criminal who deserves nothing but jail. But personally, I think it's better to kill yourself than to live a life like yours. Don't you think? Ah, wait. Your look. I know what it says. You don't just disbelieve me. You want to see evidence. Well, you could have said so straight away. I will gladly show and tell you everything in detail. In the smallest detail. It was a regular evening, and you had a fight with your mom. You had been arguing quite a bit lately. Mostly about trivial things.
Oh god.
But at some point, your mom began to lose her mind with anger towards you. She got so angry that she started
Wretch.
hurling terrible insults at you. She kept repeating one word. Wretch. Perhaps she said more. But all you could hear was the echoing word. Wretch. Let's talk more about how exactly you killed her. You don't remember? No? Look, do you see the broken vase on the floor? With that vase still filled with flowers, you tried to kill her as she turned toward the window. Honestly, you hesitated at first. But after grabbing the huge vase and hearing her insult you, you seemed to get a taste for it. I was telling you to do it at that moment. You know.
Has a bit of courage, dog.
Since you were always too timid to take bold action, at one point, after mustering a great deal of courage, you took a last breath before... Boom! Your mom had no opportunity to grasp what happened. But you missed when you threw the vase.
Damn.
Like I said, you're not good at this.
My bad.
Wait, what happened next? Your mom looked at you, not fully comprehending what you just did. Scared, you ran to the kitchen. Or maybe you wanted to run away from home. I'm not sure. Your mom chased after you, not understanding what was happening. You're in the kitchen. Your mom's in the kitchen.
Oh god. Kitchen? Knife?
But there's a difference. You're standing next to a branded, huge, sharpened knife, which you take in your hand. Your mother, naturally, is in total shock. She tells you, don't do anything stupid, with a trembling, frightened voice. You, like a complete rag, start to cry. That's very much your style. But then you even surprised me. Suddenly, your expression turned hateful, and you stopped crying. Before that, your mom tried to say something, to apologize, but you didn't hear those words. Everything was like in a fog. And what do you think happened next?
I stabbed her.
I think you know
Yeah.
and suspect what happened next. You plunge that huge knife into your mother's heart with momentum. Blood under pressure from the heart can enter the bronchi and trachea, causing blood to be coughed up. This can occur if the injury creates a passage between the heart cavity and the large vessels of the bronchi.
Thank you for the biology lesson.
I'm mentioning this because, after a few seconds of shock, your mother began to cough up blood and begged you for help, but you just watched it all happen, emotionless. Moreover, as she pleaded with you to help, to come to your senses, you made it even worse. You began to finish her off with the knife, with fierce hatred.
28?
I counted 28 stab wounds, and you laughed.
Oh god.
You laughed very hard. With difficulty, you dragged her body to a room. Later, you washed the blood off the floor as if nothing had happened. You propped a rag against the door to stop the smell of the corpse from spreading, closed it, and never entered again. You're probably in shock, aren't you?
Kinda. I don't know. I don't know where the truth lies. Am I really capable of such a thing? Or was it not me and this isn't my house at all? It's also strange. My head hurts. It hurts very badly. It's splitting. In the last second, I just saw darkness before my eyes and collapsed to the floor, hitting my head hard. I didn't wake up with the comfort of someone stroking my hair. In actuality, I woke up because of the terrible smell of the corpse lying next to me. I instinctively moved away from it, struggled to my feet, propped a towel against the door and closed it. There were no more monsters, and that red one was also gone. I could consider myself safe, but what should I do? Calling emergency services was risky because even if I'm not a murderer, I might still end up in jail. Should I check the medicine cabinet? Call someone? Or go to the kitchen? But for what reason? What else can I do? I honestly don't know. Go to the kitchen, call 911, find the first aid kit. Okay, let's do them in order. Let's go find the first aid kit. Morana said the first aid kit was in the cabinet at the very bottom. Opening the cabinet, I found a small kit. She hadn't lied after all. There were many pills I didn't recognize, but I took some and put them in my pockets. The pills in my pocket didn't make me feel any better, especially since I didn't know which ones could help. Oh no, I feel hopeless. I want to cry. I want all this to end. I want everything to be okay. I don't know what the truth is or whose body is lying in my mother's bedroom. But the fact is, there's a body and I will be imprisoned. I don't want any of this. I want to hide under a blanket and sleep forever. After crying a lot, my eyes became much heavier and I wanted to sleep badly. I know I could forget everything if I slept. In my case, it was the best option. I lay down in my bed comfortably covered with a blanket and fell asleep instantly. Hey, are you there? Oh.
Are you there? Wake up. Do you really think that sleep will solve all your problems? Sleep only helps to escape reality for a while, unfortunately. You're probably thinking that it would be better to not wake up at all. You might be surprised, but I think so too. Because I suffer from the fact that you're alive. I wish I could be free. Forget it. You can't help me anyway. I know you can't help yourself either. I thought there were no situations in life without a way out. But your situation, there is a way out. Honestly, but it's kind of a dead end.
Is it calling the cops on me?
It's chosen when people think there's no other way. I feel sad for you. And sad to see you suffer. I'm speaking honestly, putting aside the image you've created of me. You just wanted to be healthy. Have a friend, a boyfriend, go to school. So many kids have these things, but don't appreciate them because they consider it normal. You, a lonely child, were very unlucky in life. You're actually smart and pretty. But your illness, unfortunately, you'll keep losing your mind more and more. And soon, you won't be able to distinguish imagination from reality. I feel like I should help you. Even though you want to see me as a monster. It may seem untrue, but in the deepest corner of your soul, you wanted to be scared at that time. You wanted adrenaline?
Adrenaline?
I don't know. In
That's
any
fair.
case, monsters won't bother you anymore. And I'm sorry for yelling at you earlier. I don't know what came over me. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to help.
I forgive you.
We're alone now. I know what you've been through, and you must have many questions, like whose corpse is lying in the room. I'll tell you right away, I don't know. I'm just your imagination, and I can't distinguish reality from your imagination. You must be feeling terrible right now. Let's go outside instead. Fresh air will help clear your mind.
Got it.
It's night now, and the sky is likely to be especially beautiful. You've hardly ever gone outside before because of your illness. How do you like the idea?
Sure. Let's go. Let's take a walk.
Let's take a walk.
Oh. We quickly got ready and went outside. My house looked very ordinary, surrounded by other houses that seemed abandoned. The streets were empty. Morana and I walked a bit from the house and saw a huge field of dewy grass where we decided to lie down.
What a beautiful sky.
That's pretty.
It feels like the stars are trying to talk to us. They twinkle so fast, as if they're sending a signal. Or is it aliens? Just kidding, just kidding. And the night air smells so wonderful.
There's aliens.
Along with this slight chill. Don't you agree with me? And that is what I'm talking about. I'm so glad we came out together, but unfortunately, it's not the only reason we left the house. We need to talk about you, about your dreams, regrets, and thoughts. It's very sad for me to say this, but the end is known. And I think you understand what I mean.
Oh no.
I'm selfish, trying to sweet talk you when I myself want to break free from the shackles.
This is the way out, right? No, I don't think this is the way out. Yes, I understand you. Let's say yes, I understand you.
Thank you for being honest with me. I appreciate it. It's strange. I wanted to talk to you, but I don't know how to start the conversation. I guess I'm too anxious. I just feel sorry for you, and I don't know how to help you. There's nothing in the world that would help you, and I know how lonely you feel. You're not alone. You have me after all.
True.
You always talk to me when you wanted to get something off your chest. You're a kind person who wouldn't hurt a fly, and I know you have no one to talk to. Even your mother, she was always too busy to talk to you. Video games will never fill the void inside you, and I understand how much your existence in the world torments you. Sometimes you feel it would have been better if you were never born. Even in the event of your death, there's no one who would cry for you, right? That's the most
You would cry
saddening
for me,
part.
right? Even though you're fake. Oh man.
Usually it's only family and close ones who hold you back from the edge. But you have no one. I wish I could take your hand, the younger version of you, and lead you away from these problems. That version of you that still doesn't quite understand what makes them different from others. To make you a healthy child. Imagine your life if that were true. You would have a friend, a boyfriend, a loving mother, and a very bright future. It's what you always wanted more than anything in life. Though these are simple things, aren't they? People on the internet, they don't quite fill the void you have inside. Some just disappear without a trace. They delete their account forever, or they just remove you from friends.
Aw.
They start ignoring you as if you were never friends. They all leave. Absolutely everyone. No one will stay with you, and no one will truly worry about you. Though you, if I remember correctly, really cared for them. Sometimes it seems that all people are cruel by nature. They will betray you at the right moment to make it even more painful for you.
The music stopped.
Io was such an example for you. That's her nickname online. Because of your amnesia, you probably don't remember her. Perhaps it's for the best, but I still need to tell you, because I want you to have a better understanding of yourself. When you were a teenager, you actually had many friends online with whom you often spoke. And since you were children, you shared everything that happened in your life. You became friends with Io shortly before your 13th birthday. You became practically best friends, and you knew about Io's problems in life. Everyone had problems. And you worried about Io, and even cried when she was hurt, always trying to support her. When she was at the toughest moment of life and death, you saved her. But could she do the same for you?
Not sure.
Obviously, she didn't do that for you. She just deleted her account at some point when you wrote to her about your problems. Since you knew her by heart, you easily found her new account. She added all the friends from the previous page there. All except you. And she shared photos where she enjoys life. I can't imagine what you felt looking at this. Sometimes, you even thought about writing to her. Ask what's wrong. Maybe there was a mistake. After all, you wanted to be friends with her. Even if she didn't want to support you, you still wanted to communicate with her, even without her support. That's how lonely you were. I think this has greatly affected you. You still, after years, follow her social networks, where she is happy. And it seems she's already achieved everything in life.
Damn.
I don't know if you're happy for her, or sad, or hate her. What do you feel for her?
Sadness, hatred, happiness. Hatred? I don't know. I guess. Happiness?
You're too kind to her. I think your kindness will be your undoing. You never know what a person is fighting with, do you? You might think she had reasons for such an act. You're very kind. Truly.
But I couldn't stop thinking about something. To ask again, or maybe not. I won't ask. What about the body in the other bedroom? Let's say I won't ask. It was cool outside, but this cold was pleasantly chilling on the skin. I can't say I was uncomfortable. I wanted to fall asleep right on Morana's shoulder at that moment and never wake up. I feel very cozy with her. Suddenly, I remembered a movie where a girl changed other people's lives for the better. Even though she was an introvert, she was happy for other people. I would like to be that kind of girl. To be positive and help others despite everything not being great for me. Ew, that sounds like hell. Because in the end, other people also helped her. Did they? Or I would like to be a movie director and create movies that help people, or write books. I love writing stories. You know, I could be a movie screenwriter in an alternate life. That sounds very interesting.
Don't make me laugh. Many want it, but only a few achieve it.
But imagine how cool it is to come up with a story that deeply affects someone, where it changes their life. It will be the greatest achievement of my life, to change someone's life for the better.
For the better? That's a subjective concept. Good and evil are subjective.
Well, I have standard concepts of good and evil.
Even so, everyone has different standards. What seems for the better to you might seem for the worse to many. You understand what I mean?
But then how do I understand it? What is good in all senses?
Not at all. Every person is different. What can you do? Someone engages in charity and for them it's good, while someone else kills people and considers it charity, as it frees people from a terrible life.
And who do you want to be?
Me? Well, you came up with quite the question. How can I handle it? I'm not so thoroughly thought out as a personality. Whatever you come up with, that's what I will be.
I don't know. I think you could be a doctor. You're very calm and intelligent.
Are you kidding? Can you imagine me in that doctor's attire? That's too funny.
Haha, yes. I imagined it. You really would be very amusing.
What kind of doctor would I be if I don't have normal fingers?
By the way, what's with them? If I'm not mistaken, you told me earlier that you'd explain it. I might be wrong, but...
That... Yes, I remember. These are gloves. Well, hands are burnt. That's why I wear gloves.
Burned.
I don't want you to see that. My hands look terrible.
What happened? How did it happen?
A fire, obviously.
Okay.
Don't you feel it's strange when you imagine me and ask such questions?
But you look so real, as if you have your own secrets and you're unusual. Ambiguous, I would say. I still haven't figured out what role you play in my life. You seem both good and bad at the same time. I don't know.
Thanks for the compliment, but because you still can't decide who I am for you, you don't know yourself. How can you create a constant personality for me?
By the way, how can I distinguish what's real and what's not?
To distinguish, you need to think. Assume something. Think critically. What could really happen and what sounds illogical and unrealistic? Only in the end will you find out what's true and what's not. So, just believe what you believe.
Got it. Actually, I'm very comfortable with you. I could probably spend a whole lifetime like this. It will be hard for me to part with you. If I do, you know what to myself. If I do, you know what to my... Why does this mean?
No, it shouldn't. You're liberating both yourself and me. You're doing a good thing.
But we could lie and talk like this forever, couldn't we? I don't need anything more in life. Just a friend who can listen and support. And I can do the same for you.
We can't talk like this forever. We'll run out of topics before an hour passes.
Maybe you're right.
Okay, let's go home now.
Okay. No. As soon as I set foot on the threshold, a storm of emotions suddenly overcame me. I began to think about my future, and each thought pierced me into pieces, knowing that I won't achieve anything in life. I will be nobody. Such thoughts often bring me down to earth, reminding me of my worthlessness.
What happened? Why did you stop? What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking of killing... Oh god. I will decide to do it.
Why?
Because I don't want to exist in the world. I don't want to grow up. Don't want to feel pain, disappointment. I'm a coward.
A sensible decision. Thank you.
For what?
For freeing me. For no longer having to be obligated to you.
But I'm doing it more for myself. I'm sad to say goodbye to you. Thank you for supporting me in the last minutes of my life.
You're welcome. You imagined me to behave this way, didn't you? Apparently, you desperately wanted support and learned to control your hallucinations. Are you scared?
Oh, a little. But it's not my first time doing this, right? I should be confident about it. But now, I'm thinking about what my life could have been. Maybe I can change, for the better. To live life, enjoying every moment. To do what I like, and these thoughts disturb me. What if I'm making the wrong decision? What if everything could turn out differently? What if tomorrow everything gets better and I don't live to see it?
No. How can everything be good for you? You will never cure your schizophrenia no matter how much you want it. Even if theoretically possible, you would still have mental disorders that would still serve as a catalyst for suicide. Or am I saying something wrong?
Unfortunately, you're telling the truth. There won't be any magical moment, no person who will save me. There's nothing that will change me. But I still hope for it, do you understand? All this time I've been living my days in hopes. Hopes that things will eventually get better. But it only got worse. And it's just hard for me to make such a decision. I don't know what awaits me if I do it. I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm now also worried about possibly harming my family members who might still be alive. What if I have someone but I just can't remember them? I'm unsure. Should I do it? Oh god. With uncertainty, I still took the pills and tried to swallow them in an excessive amount. Suddenly, I felt a change in my mind and I began taking a lot of pills quickly. I don't know what's happening to me, but my wish to die was very strong, so I let it happen. After swallowing them hard, I waited for this moment. This moment of death. But it never came. Or maybe this moment will be later? My eyelids were closing as I was losing consciousness. I held on with all my strength. But at one moment It's hard
for me to say goodbye to you. I think we could always be together. Have fun, cook different dishes together, and admire the sky. I will.
Me too, you're really sweet, I like you, although I wish you could stay with me forever, I still value your decisions. You have always been strong. Guys, can I play with you? Yes, of course you can. We'll play a game. Close your eyes and count to 500, by that time we'll hide and you can find us. Their looks seem very kind, like they finally wanted to be friends with me. I counted to 500, but they were all still there. Damn, I didn't think she could count to such high numbers. Count again, oh. But guys, I've already counted. You just don't want to be friends with me, right? Did you finally get it? Go away, we don't need crazies as friends. Mom, the kids in the yard don't want to be friends with me. Those kids, they are scum, you should know that, right? Don't listen to them. Can I play with Mom? Oh, dear. Unfortunately, no. I have to run to work now, but I promise when I come back we'll play, okay? Okay. Hooray, you're back! Mom, you promised to play with me. Darling, I'm so tired. Honestly, Mom had a really hard day. I'll make some food now, and we can lie down together. Is that okay with you? Okay. After watching TV for a bit, Mom immediately fell asleep. I was left alone. Again. Not that I felt sad or... I don't know what I felt. Maybe loneliness? I understand that Mom has a lot of things to do and she's great at handling everything, but a little bit of egoism in me wanted some attention. Well, it's just you and me now. You're plush. I know. But I really wish I could talk to you. All you can do is hug me, though. I wonder why you have wings. Are you going to fly away from me, too? Just kidding. I know you won't fly away. You're a simple plush. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely that I cry and open my heart to a plush toy. Why does everything in my life happen like this? Why can't everything just be good? I just don't understand. Why is there so much pain in living? Why? Why is everyday agony for me? Why? Sorry. I can't sleep again. Even your hugs don't help. As a child, I would fall asleep immediately just by looking at you. It's hard to live when the only escape from reality is sleep, and even that you can't get. Io, you shouldn't do this to yourself. You're the best person I've ever met. I know you might think badly of yourself, but I know you're a wonderful person. As soon as you grow up, you'll leave your parents' house, move into your own apartment, and you'll live well. Just wait. I really believe that you'll make it. You have to believe in yourself. I understand you. I might be selfish, but it would be damn painful to lose you. You're the only person I've truly opened up to. Please don't do this. It's painful to see how cruel people can be. Watching memes, playing games, I wasted my life to at least slightly elevate the elevate the loneliness. Probably my last hope became my hallucinations. I started to control them. Sometimes it worked and sometimes my mind played tricks on me. Overall, I was happier than now. Over time, I got sick of playing games and interacting online. I cut off all ties with people. I read books, improved myself, drew, and tried to write stories. But unfortunately, with each story I wanted to kill myself. I didn't like anything I did. Every time it seemed like I was creating a terrible story, and the scariest thing was that I didn't know how to fix it. In the end, I burned out. I couldn't write or draw anymore. What's the point in a hobby if you don't enjoy it? I forced myself and felt only negative emotions. Over time, it all accumulated inside me, like now. You, the player, are probably wondering what is true and what is not in this story, right? I really did try to end my life at the beginning. I really lost my memory after the stress. But unfortunately, I was not very experienced, and I first drank a week sleeping pills. Secondly, I took them in a relatively small amount, and thirdly, there's a small chance of dying from them. After that, I most likely made up a story just like this one from one movie, where the main character wakes up every night and remembers nothing. The image of Morana has been in my head for a long time. I talked to her before. What else, you might be wondering? Was my mom's corpse real? I don't know. Maybe that will be explained in other endings. People with schizophrenia can imagine smells. I mean, I really felt the smell of a corpse. If I slept, it was something like fainting or just a very short sleep. Fainting lasts very briefly, by the way. So this whole story happened within a day. Most of all, I slept when I tried to end my life, that is, in the morning, and I woke up at night. What else would you like to know? What is the story, the moral of this novel? Is that people with such diseases have a hard life. They can invent a world they fully believe in and do terrible things. Also, you, the reader, shouldn't be mean to someone just because they are ill. Many people need help, and they really have a hard time. Because they will never be a part of society, or they always feel deep down that they are burdening their relatives with their existence. In many cases, bullying for these people is equal to their death. I think that's all. This story may seem very strong in terms of depression and discussions of suicide. I want to address people who have reached this point in the game and have problems in their life. Please hold on. I understand it's hard, but you have to hold on. I just want to say, don't do bad things to yourself. Love yourself. It's hard, I know, but please try to do it. I hope for that, at least. And I believe that you will make it. Just don't give up, please. Congratulations, you've completed the game with a neutral ending. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it and that you'll be really kind to other people. Thank you for playing. Give it another shot to try multiple endings. Let's try Don't Do It. Suddenly, Morana took the pills from my pocket and started shoving them into my mouth. Oh god. Covering my mouth so I couldn't spit anything out, leaving me no options but to swallow them. I tried to resist, but I swallowed them, and nothing happened. My eyelids were closing when suddenly I heard someone entering the house. I heard footsteps, someone's voice calling me, or as I was losing consciousness, a hand grabbed me and my eyes opened again. I saw my mother's face. She looked shocked, probably crying, quickly dialing something on her phone, shouting at me to hold on. I held on with all my strength, but at one moment
Cook different dishes.
Okay, this remains the same. The egg that Morana gave me was already prepared by my mom long ago. She always left me some food when she went to work. What else? You might be wondering, was my mom's corpse real? If you think logically in the game, it was said as if my mother didn't resist at all when I attacked her with a knife. Any person would have a self-preservation instinct, right? Sometimes imaginations can be completely illogical, and yet some people can believe in them. Nevertheless, in this ending, you find out that my mother is alive, that my mom is alive, and what I made up is a figment of my imagination. People with schizophrenia, okay? Where was my mom all this time? My mom works around the clock, that is. She may not return for a whole day or even more. If I slept, it was something like fainting or just a very okay. So this whole story happened within a day. Huh. What else would you like to know? Although, one last question. Did the main character die in the end? She will wake up in 10 hours in the hospital with her mom, who was worried about her all this time. She will love life after waking up. She will clearly understand that her mom actually loves her and she won't want to cause her that pain again. She doesn't want to see her scared face again. And our main character will try to keep going. She will never give up again, even though it will be hard. She will eventually find people she can communicate with, because not all people are bad, right? She will make her career in filmmaking, and she will get support online and finally come to harmony with herself. Congratulations, you completed the game with a good ending. Oh. Well, everybody, that was Hazy Mind. I really enjoyed this game. It was really fun, and it had some pretty good topics to talk about. But either way, hope all of you stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, everyone.